Hello and welcome, gamers and friends. I'm here to cover the mini Valentine's Day event. I had initially planned to archive this event as soon as it was released, but decided against it. And I'm glad that I did, because I ended up changing my opinion on a few of the items now that the event has been out for a bit. So, I plan to do videos like this in the future, releasing them after the event has happened to see where the market is at, to see where the community is at. But, to start here, the common material for this event is the Heart Lollipop, and the Elite is the Valentine's Ace. I do like these ideas. I'm grateful that they're original. We'll see in this event some things aren't original, but we have the usual upgrades and items and potions, and we start with item sprites. So this Cupid's Bow Skin is actually an old sprite from the previous Valentine's event. I took a look for this one and actually the Sword of Love skin on the market, and I couldn't find any of these with old listings previously. If you take a look at the market and see that even though the event has only been out for a few days, that the item has been listed for a couple months, you know that it's been reintroduced to the item pool rather than being unique. So, as much as I really love these skins and I think they're great, I am really disappointed that we have a couple things being reintroduced rather than original unique items. But Sword of Love skin is definitely a good pick. And then we get into, sadly, the only event avatar of this event. So there are more, but this is the only unique one. I think personally this will have a lot of value going into the future. I like that he's holding the Sword of Love. The meme of date night will also make it an attractive offer in the future, and I think it looks overall cool. Now, the fact that this is the only event avatar that's unique, I will be getting a ton of these, and they will probably sell. I don't expect these to be any major find, but I will be getting a ton of these. So, then, as I said, that's it. We move on to pets. The Picnic Wasp is a 50-50 pet. I don't see this as a collector's item in the future. With this being a 50-50, there will be a couple of them in circulation, but not a ton. So if you find one, you should get it. Then we have the defense pet. Of course, always the defense pets are the coolest. I personally feel that the Foxy Friends aren't that cool. I know a lot of people are raving about how amazing foxes are and the friends and the love, which is great, but I wish that they had more than two frames, and I wish that it didn't look like they were holding socks, and I wish they looked more like foxes. So, oh, I just realized I think they're owls. Anyways, I'm a little disappointed with them as a pet, but with these guys being defense, there won't be a ton of them, and if you find them for 200 or less, I recommend getting one if you really want one, because there will not be a ton of these. The previous Picnic Wasp had like 54. This one has 30 in circulation, and the Strength Pet, Be Mine, has almost 500. So, Strength Pets are priority. I actually love this bee. I would love it even if it was the defense pet, but it's kind of a bonus that it's a strength. I love the glare on the sunglasses. I love the movement of the bee. I think it's really cool. Fortunately, with this one being super cool, it will also be super cheap come next event. So I plan to get one of these for cheap later. But I think this guy is neat. And we actually have, so this Love Rat has 2,000 defense, and it was the Foxy Friends. So the Foxy Friends have 1,800. So Love Rat is a little more defense, which is even more sad because I love these guys, or this guy, more than the friends. I think this guy's super cute. I even wish that he was animated. I won't be getting one for myself just because it's not really worth it in my opinion, but I know a ton of people are going to be absolutely in love with the Love Rat. So I think this guy's cool. But that is it for the pets. We actually have unique foods, which is nice. I was a little worried. Pizza and wine, I think, is a funny Valentine's food. I I love the meme. But I'm going to assume that all uncommon foods are going to be unlocked and in the item pool post-event. So I don't actually plan on getting any of these. Normally I try and collect the event foods. You will probably just be able to get these on your own. But next, we actually have a celestial food. Now, this beating heart not only has a cool sprite, but is celestial, so it will continue to have value for the achievements involved and for the clout of the colors. But also, this sprite is used for the inscription item. Every event or so, there is 3 inscription items that you can send out to the same person or different people. You can select a person, write out a message, and that item will be sent with that inscription to them, and they can have that item for forever if they want. Some people take it much more seriously than others, but that sprite for the inscription item is the same for this beating heart, which, if it weren't so cool, would be disappointing and sad, but I actually love the chocolate box, so I think this is cool. I'm gonna get a ton of these for um, future value. So I'm happy with where this is at. But then we get into specials. So with this mask, with this being the defense of the specials, I'm disappointed with the sprite of this one, just because I love specials being some dumb side equipment rather than an actual piece of gear. Um, However, again, as always, with defense, there aren't going to be a ton of these. If you really want one of them, get them as soon as you can. Um, then we have, I actually feel is super disappointing, the Rebound Love. I think the name is cool. I think the sprite is sad. I don't actually love it a ton. Um, but with this being the strength special, there's going to be a ton of these. I don't see this dipping much lower than 150 next event. So if you want one, now is actually the time to get one, even if you just buy it. But I don't see this coming back around for very much in the future. Now, the 50/50. I think this one is beautiful. I think this will be a collector's item in the future. I think that the stats are completely irrelevant. I love the color scheme. I love the look. I love the animation. I think it's amazing. This is what I want specials to look like. I want them to be weird. I want them to be cool. And I want them to be abstract. Because special on its own isn't even its own kind of equipment. Like, you know where a helm goes on your head. But where does a special go, you know? So that's it for the specials. We have 2 backgrounds this event. This one, this very clear red hearts, is not on the market. There's only a few on there. So if you find one of these, if you want one of them, get them as soon as possible. There aren't going to be a ton later. Ironically, with the other one being cooler, in my opinion, this one will probably sell for more, just because there's going to be less of them in circulation. I do feel that there aren't a ton of backgrounds in circulation already. I feel like that's a missed market. But I think 141 is cooler than the other one. I have this one for my personal collection. I don't have the other one for my personal collection. I feel that those other hearts mirror the red background from the Christmas event that just happened. So personally, I don't need it. I think that this is very unique. I like that even though it's busy, it's not busy enough to actually distract from your avatar, which is very important because there's a lot of uses for a background and a lot of different scenarios. And if you just can't make out your avatar from the background, then there's no point in using it. So that's how I feel about those. Now we get into the rip-off avatars. The totally new is a funny joke from a dev perspective, but I absolutely hate it. I'm so mad about this. Now, as I said in the beginning, this totally new Catfish is actually, this one and the X are reprints basically. The catch being that they're totally new because they're vertically flipped. So this Catfish, the X, the Grumpy Teddy, and the Gamer Girl are last Valentine's event avatars. But this one is upside down. So initially I thought that this was dumb. I thought that nobody would like them, nobody would care. I thought this event was going to be a total bust. But as the week went on, I realized that the people in my friends list were all changing their avatars to this fish. And I was just so confused because I thought that this was stupid. But people like it. So I changed my mind. I think that this will probably sell in the future for the meme of upside down fish. And it's not a bad sprite on its own. I actually really love the catfish. I don't wish that they reintroduced the old ones, but I don't want upside down sprites. So disappointed. And then even more so, I normally try to get 5 to 10 avatars of each kind. And I only plan to get 2 of this one because it just doesn't work. Like, if the trash can was closed, if there wasn't a lid on it, if the flies weren't upside down, like, maybe. But I'm just absolutely, I I can't even. I think that this is worthless. I think that it may sell for a lot in the future, but only because nobody wants it. So I'll be holding on to these for that one guy in the future, but I don't see this going anywhere. Now, to talk a little bit about economics, these are all the items. That's all we have. I was kind of disappointed on the reprints, the things we got a second time. I feel like with all the time that we've had in between events, I wish that there was more unique. Now, I think I want to talk about economics every video just because I've seen some crazy high values, I've seen some crazy low values on separate events, and I would just want to log that in history. So, to talk about it, initially opened this event with 2.5 million for elites and 100k for commons. That's about normal price nowadays. I've seen it go higher, but I was surprised that I had no competition all event. So it didn't get much higher than that. Excuse me. The highest that the elites went was 3 million, and I didn't see commons go much higher at all. As soon as I stopped advertising, I couldn't really advertise while I was working in the weekdays. As soon as I finished on the weekend, the prices dropped immediately. Nobody was buying, and the prices dropped to about 1 million for elite at the end, and 50k for commons, which is dirt cheap for both of those. And I just kind of want to log that in the archive here. So overall, disappointed with the event, as I said, but I still got a ton of items. I still plan to sell just as much as I normally do. And I'm very excited for the Easter event come April 8th, I believe. So it's actually not that far away. And I'm excited for hopefully a lot of unique things and a lot of new things in the future. So thank you for joining me. Thank you for your time. And I hope to see you again.